Now moving on to our next panelist, Mr. Yogesh Khakre. He's the company secretary of Bhopal Smart City. Over to you, Yogesh, for your initial remarks.
Hi Amit, thank you so much, and my greetings to all the co-panelists from Bhopal Smart City. And I'm really privileged to hear words from Sunil ji and Naveen ji and Samir ji. And I would like to continue what Amit you have said, that people may come, people may go, but the company goes forever. So it is the thing, you have to create a system, because people may fail, but system never fails. So I would like to take you to a bit flashback on how the smart city mission has launched. What is the reason? Because in 2015 we are 1.2 billion population, and we are having 3,000 cities. And out of 3,000 cities, around 300 cities are having population of more than 1 lakh. But as you said that in next 2 3 years, we are 60% of traction is going to the tier one cities, and we are hardly, as on date, we are having 8 tier 1 cities only, and having around 30% of traction in these cities. So idea was to get back that traction into the other smart cities, to launch 100 smart cities across the country, so that we can lessen the burden on the tier 1 cities and we can utilize our resources. And that's how it was, the mission was planned, to create 100 smart cities and having a provision of 1,000 crores. But do you really think that 1,000 crore is sufficient to create a smart city? If you want to build 5 flyovers now, the amount will go into waste or go into utilize in creating these flyovers. So the object was to converge and collaborate with the existing infrastructure, with the help of innovation, with the help of technology. You have to have a scalable model, and which provides the employment opportunity, so that we will get the traction out of the tier 1 cities and towards tier 2 and tier 3 cities. So this is how it was planned. So 1,000 crore is not the full, because in coming year we are completing 5 years. Those smart cities who are top 20 cities got selected in first phase. We are completing our 5 years. What's next? So definitely we have to go sustainable. And what is sustainable? You have to generate your own funds, or you have to keep some resources open for future generation. This is what sustainability means. So we have to generate our own resources, and how it will generate, I will cross you, Amit, because you are saying IPO, but I believe IPO is totally exit option. It is not continuing into the system, right? So IPO is totally exit. What you do in IPO, you will lose your shares. So beyond that, you can have a listing your bonds. What we have done, or what Indore has done, and other smart cities in Pune has done. The Nagar Nigam, the municipal corporation, has launched, like we have done 175 CRs of listing of bond. So simultaneously, other smart cities also treated at par with the ULBs. So we have the Association of Chartered Accountant, the company secretaries, we have sent a letter to SEBI that to consider SPVs as a part and parcel at par with the ULBs, so that they can also float their bonds in the market. Now, another option is you can go and list your NCDs, like non-convertible debentures. You can go and launch your preference shares, non-convertible preference shares, to any foreign entity. So you can trace the FDIs and FIIs, get the traction over from there, for infrastructure building, for ICT building, for IoT, for machine learning, and number of things. You can have to have a change in your procurement policies. So there must be some provision to procure from on the POC basis from the startups. Why we have always have a big companies on place to do small things? They have started proving their potential. It is very innovative technology, very disruptive technologies. So we can give the tender, or we can go and get them job on the basis of POC only, like a private firm. Because what is the mean of SPV? You have to move fast and break the things, as Mark Zuckerberg said. So we have to move fast. We have to act like a MNC company. So this is the key word is collaboration and convergence with the existing policies, with the existing provisions. Like we are having National Urban Transport Policy 2006. So in which cities would be encouraged to explore the possibility of innovative multimodal transport, having NMT in place by public bike sharing program, where people can rent a bicycle for use in specifically designed area. So the primary motive of this policy was to emphasize the importance of introducing a self-sustainable NMT model like PBS schemes in urban areas. In Bhopal, we have already done in 2016. The basic purpose was to underscore the advantage of using bicycles and to provide low cost, environment friendly, and convenient mobility options to the residents. So I'm really happy to say that Bhopal bike sharing system in the country is the first integrated and fully automated bicycle sharing system on PPP mode. So we have not done the capex and opex. We have just given the value gap funding, VGF funding on this project, and we have in the span of 3-4 years we have recovered that funding on the revenue sharing model with that agency. So likewise, everywhere you need not have to put your cost. You have to have a PPP arrangement with the private players. Like after PBS, we are moving ahead with the UI floating of EBS, electric bike sharing. So what we are doing, we are converging with the existing private players, and we are giving them our space, utilize the space for doing capex, for having docking stations, for giving the extra infrastructure, and then we are giving them right of monetizing right for the advertisement rights to monetize the on the docking station, and they will generate the revenue and they will share the revenue. So instead putting cost into capex, we are getting the revenue sharing from them. So it is a win-win situation for both the private players and the authority. So this kind of initiatives we are thinking to move ahead, and we have recently launched electric vehicles in Bhopal. We have totally replaced the pool vehicles, diesel conventional pool vehicles with the electric vehicles. So for that we have not done any tender. What we have done, we have done a MOU with the EESL. It is a subsidiary of central government company NTPC and REC. So it is a convergence between central government and state government. So we have done MOU with the EESL and got a dry lease model, and in a hire purchase model we have bought that new vehicles, Tata Tigor. So these are something. Now we are moving ahead with the dockless cycling station and other multi-level parking, so many things with the help of technology. So like this is from my side.
Hey, thanks, Yogesh. I think there were a couple of important points, and definitely, if we were to talk about, so let me begin from where you started, and you started talking about the entire 1,000 crore
So
fund which
let
was
me add you
provided
one
to
thing.
each city.
Let me add you
So
one thing
very
that
clearly, that
government has
thousand.
never differentiated between the city like Bhopal having population of 25 lakhs and city like Pasighat having population of 25,000, or Imphal having population of around 1 lakh. So they are also getting 1,000 crore. We are also getting 1,000 crore. They are having 100% government land, and then they are still waiting for the consultants to do something for them. Why?
Okay. So I would definitely try to talk about that particular point as well. So when you are comparing a city like Namchi or a city like with a city like Bhopal, it is very important to keep things in perspective. The economic activity that is possible in Madhya Pradesh, in Bhopal, is nowhere in comparison to what can happen in Namchi. Therefore, Bhopal can multiply the money that they have got as investment much faster and much
Yeah.
rapidly compared to Namchi. So therefore, if there are certain advantages, there are certain disadvantages as well associated with it. So that we may get into the merits of that. But very importantly, when we talk about the 1,000 crore, the initial 1,000 crore that we are talking about, that 1,000 crore was never spoken about as a grant. That 1,000 crore was always talked as seed money, and that is where each and every SPV was supposed to act as a startup. A
It is part
startup
of
which
your capital. It is part
so
of your
that is where
capital.
so
Yes,
the
it's a seed
1,000 crore
capital.
that you, it is a seed capital that you got, and you need to act as a startup, and so you did not go for a round or a B round of funding as a startup. Instead, you got that capital to use that 1,000 crore, and that from 1,000 crore as a seed capital as a startup, you are going to start your operations, and then you need to earn your money. And that is where you need to go into innovative financing, good projects, a project which are going to be self-sustainable, projects which are not only going to get benefit to the citizens, they are also going to give certain kind of a revenue back to the SPV, so that SPV can manage it and sustain its operations, and then also earn capital out of it, and this capital can be reinvested into certain other projects. And that is where this entire concept was put to test. Of course, there are certain cities like Bhopal, there are certain cities like Thane, these are the cities which have actually shown the light of how this can be done. Definitely, it is an experiment where certain successes we have seen. Now, these successes are something which need to be replicated, and then they need to be scaled up on a large scale. And that is where I see the kind of input that are coming from this would actually be incorporated in the future policy, whether you call it Smart City 2.0, whether you talk about the next wave of urban development. I think that will play a very important role. The lessons that we have learned from Bhopal, the lessons that we have learned from Chandigarh, the lessons that we have learned from Mumbai, the lessons that we have learned from Bengaluru, all these lessons together are actually going to play a crucial role. The way the money that is going to flow to the future of these cities. That is something which will be an important aspect. The other point which you talked about was related to innovation. Innovation not only from the technology and other perspective, but also from the procurement. As Kunal sir says, as Kunal Kumar sir says, that we need to innovate procurement to procure innovation. So to procure innovation, we need to innovate our procurement cycle altogether. And that is where I see one of the methods which has actually not shown that kind of a success, but that can actually be put to test, can be the Swiss challenge method. Where yes, we can actually procure innovation in a way that yes, the technology is quite innovative. We can put forward for a POC kind of a thing, and then from there we can actually procure innovation. So cities like Bhopal and cities, forward-looking cities, need to experiment with this kind of procurement if they actually want to procure innovation. And that is where the entire, of course, you are the CEO of the BNest as well. You know that there are certain startups there, and we need to help them. How can we actually get them onboarded if we actually want to procure innovation? So Swiss
So
challenge can be one of the
today today I'm in Indore and organizing a future of MP conclave in BNest. Indore reaching out to BNest reaching out to Indore. So I'm sitting
Okay.
in Sayaji and waiting for my panel discussion.
Okay, great. This way, what happens? Of course, we need to experiment within the framework that is available to us, because at the end of the day, this is exchequer's money. We need to be accountable and we need to be responsible. Samir sir would agree with me that whatever we are doing today, 3 years down the line, of course, this will be up for public scrutiny. It is very important that whatever we are doing, we need to do it in a very responsible manner so that we are accountable and yet we are able to pave a way for future. So with this, I think, Fahim, if we have questions from the audience, maybe we would like to take questions from the audience. Fahim, over to you.
Thank you, Amit. I think so. It was a very well moderated session, and we had basically a great perspectives from be it Namchi or Bhopal or Maharashtra, and basically from Bhagalpur. So I'd like to thank you all. And if there is any question, I'll just see. No, I don't think so. There is any question. So, anyways, I would like to thank you all, and I would like to thank our partners, basically HP and Intel. They are our powered by partner. Then we have got Oracle as a cloud partner. Then we have got Western Digital as a storage partner, Avaya as a collaboration partner, and Globus as a technology partner. And plus, the event host partner is the Department of Electronics and IT, Government of Odisha, and the co-host partner is Muradabad Smart City Limited. And apart from this, we have got a very interactive exhibition area also in the in the platform, where lots of companies are showcasing various technologies, various case studies, various white papers, and related to the smart cities, to digital India, to healthcare, where you can go and download, you can have an interaction with our exhibitors. So it's a very interactive. So thank you, Amit. Thank you, everyone. And with this, I think so we can say a goodbye. And I think so our viewers had a very it's like interesting time, very productive time listening to various perspectives kept from across the country. And that's all I think so from my side. Thank you, everyone.
Thanks, Fahim. Thanks, Samir sir, Sunil sir, Naveen, and Yogesh. Thanks for your time. Look forward to connect with you offline as well. Thank you.
Likewise.